explain the manosphere and the varying levels of like red pill, black pill, PUAs, like all of that, because I think that's where a lot of the confusion lies.
Well, okay, so I get this quite often. Like people will ask me, like, Rollo, what's the red pill? And I'm like, how much time do you have? Because anytime somebody like uninitiated or sort of one of these normie outsider kind of people, when they're asking me that, if it's a mainstream source, like we're going to do this interview, probably against my better judgment, this interview thing with CBS.
Yeah.
If they were to ask me like, what's the red pill? They're expecting a bumper sticker. They're expecting somebody to give you some really quick hit, elevator pitch.
Yep.
And the problem with that is that what's become the manosphere, and really what the red pill is there's so many sort of subfields to it right now that it's like it's a college major. It's not a bumper sticker. And I think everybody wants to turn it into a belief set, or they want to turn it into ideology, or a movement, or a philosophy, or a system of belief is basically what they want it to be, because they don't know how to fight it in any other way, because it's just one belief versus another. And if they can turn it into that, then that's what it's going to be. But the red pill, in my experience from doing this for 23 years, is the praxeology of intersexual dynamics. And what I mean by praxeology is, if you look up the definition of praxeology, it is the science or the study of human behavior, in that human behavior has a purpose and a function. It's very pragmatic, right? And that's all it really is it's just a database. It's just, here's the information, raw, you take it as you interpret it however you want. So if I'm using stats, or if I'm using, I'll pull stuff from evolutionary psychology, I'll pull stuff from anthropology, I'll pull stuff like, there was just I think it was in Aporia or something like that, they were talking about the myth of the female hunter. And, like back in our hunter-gatherer days, women hunted much as men did. No, that's bullshit.
Yeah, I've never heard that.
Yeah, and so I mean, they did this whole study on whether or not, ancient cultures and ancient hominids, females would actually go hunting. Well, they would hunt small game. They would trap like birds and fish and stuff like that, and they want to say that was hunting. Well, the rest of the guys go out and run down woolly mammoths and caribou and stuff like that. So that part of the red pill is anthropology, right?
Yeah.
Or we could use sociology as part of that. We can use economics. Like my good friend Aaron Clary is an actuary. He's done a book called A World Without Men. And what he did is he broke down in numbers what would happen if men just basically dropped out of, they disappeared for 1 week on planet Earth, and the impact that would have on the economy, because there'd be nobody to work oil rigs, there'd be nobody to to fill potholes and to keep the lights on and that kind of stuff. And so that's an economic side of the red pill. That's all part of the praxeology of the red pill. So I wrote a book on religion, and religion was based on the confluence of intersexual dynamics and our beliefs, our belief set. So now I can incorporate that into the red pill. And there's so much that goes into intersexual dynamics, and I don't think enough people really realize the impact of the relation between men and women, and how it has effects, like cascade effects, across other things that we wouldn't necessarily say are part of the sexual marketplace. And so that's also part of the
Like what? Give us